I thought I knew my wife. I thought our life was built on love. But one overheard conversation at our anniversary dinner shattered everything. And in that moment, I realized the woman I married had been living a secret life I never imagined. What I did next changed us both forever. It was our 5th anniversary, and Emily insisted we celebrate at Rivello, a lavish Italian restaurant tucked in the heart of the city. I had secretly hoped for something smaller, more personal, maybe Vero's Pizza, the place where we had our first date, but Emily dismissed the idea with a polite yet firm shake of her head. Her excitement was palpable, fueled partly by the news of the lucrative tech contract I had just closed. She had that smile that could light up a room, yet for some reason, tonight, it felt performative, as though it belonged more to an audience than to me. After a meticulously prepared dinner, I excused myself to pay the bill. Years of cautious habits, ever since my card had been skimmed at a cafe, made it routine for me to handle the transactions personally. On my way back, I passed behind a tall partition that separated the dining area. That's when I heard their voices. "Does Liam still think you actually love him?" Emily's aunt, Margot, slurred slightly, a drink having loosened her tongue. I froze, my chest tightening. Emily's voice followed, laced with an unsettling smirk. "Of course, his credit is excellent, and he pays for everything. Why would I ever leave?" A laugh erupted between them, light yet edged with a cruelty that pierced me deeper than I expected. Margot muttered something else, but the words were lost to the clinking of silverware and murmurs from nearby tables. Emily added, almost casually, "Well, Mom and Dad were right about one thing. Marrying a tradesman means he'll always be too busy to notice what I'm doing." I stood there, not shocked, though a part of me wanted to scream, but with a chilling clarity. All the tiny suspicions I had buried over the years crystallized into certainty. The life I thought I shared with Emily was, in reality, a carefully curated illusion. I returned to the table, sat down, and finished my drink in silence while she chatted animatedly about her day. She remained blissfully unaware of what I had overheard. That night, at home, Emily noticed my quietness but didn't press. "Just tired," I murmured, attributing it to a project starting the next morning. She nodded, lost interest as quickly as she realized I wasn't going to indulge her with details. I did not sleep. I couldn't. I plotted. By morning, I had contacted my bank and credit card companies to remove Emily as an authorized user, citing suspected fraudulent activity. By noon, I had spoken with my lawyer, my accountant, and my business partner. That evening, I moved half of our joint savings into my personal account and froze the rest. For a day, Emily didn't notice. She carried on with Pilates, lunches with friends, and her shopping excursions, oblivious as I went to work as usual. When I kissed her goodbye, told her I loved her, I felt a strange detachment. It was almost too easy to maintain the charade. 2 days later, her facade cracked. Attempting to pay for a spa day, my American Express declined. Another card failed. Frustration leaked into her voice as she called. "There's something wrong with the cards," she said, tightly controlled. "Strange," I replied, masking my satisfaction with feigned concern. I noticed the notifications immediately, a $900 charge from the spa, despite her insisting it was just lunch. I calmly suggested, "I'll check tonight. I'm in meetings all day." She huffed, knowing her personal card was barely a lifeline she maintained due to her lack of income. "Fine," she said sharply before hanging up. 3 hours later, my phone buzzed incessantly. Texts, missed calls, demand from Emily to explain why our joint accounts were frozen. I ignored them. Meetings consumed the day. When I finally glanced at my phone, there were 27 missed calls and a voicemail from my lawyer. The preliminary divorce paperwork had been filed. I drove home expecting confrontation, anger, accusations, the chaos of a wife betrayed. Instead, the house was eerily empty. Doorbell footage revealed her leaving with 3 suitcases 2 hours earlier, heading directly to her parents' home. The next morning, Margot called. I nearly ignored it, but curiosity prevailed. "What have you done?" she demanded, voice thick with fury. "What did Emily tell you?" I countered with calm, controlled detachment. "You lost your mind," Margot continued, indignation rehearsed, froze all the accounts, cut off her cards, some midlife crisis nonsense. I asked coldly, "Did she mention our anniversary dinner?" That conversation at the table. There was a pause, then a trembling breath. "You heard everything, Liam. We were just talking. Women say things it doesn't mean." "Save it," I interrupted. "Divorce papers are already filed. Emily can contact my lawyer if she needs anything." "You're making a mistake," Margot persisted, though the conviction faltered. "Tell her," I said. After hanging up and blocking both their numbers, I steel myself. The anticipated escalation arrived swiftly. Emily's father called my business partner, threats veiled under polite civility. Letters from aggressive divorce attorneys demanded immediate restoration of Emily's lifestyle. Mutual friends appeared, hoping to appeal to my emotion. None of them understood the depth of my preparation. Patricia, my lawyer, was meticulous. She presented evidence of Emily's spending patterns, lack of meaningful contribution to household finances, and hidden transfers to her personal accounts. The tone shifted. Her attorney requested a meeting downtown. When I saw Emily again, she looked flawless, her beauty unbroken, but her eyes were sharp, calculating. "This is unnecessary," she said coolly, avoiding my gaze. "We can proceed with witnesses," I replied, voice even and firm. Her lawyer interjected, proposing a settlement that recognized her contributions. Patricia countered with a document, outlining the fair terms I had prepared. Emily's reaction was swift, confusion, then outrage. "This is insulting," she hissed. 5 years, and you offer me less than I had before we met." I spoke directly, steady and cold. "Before we met, at least you had a job, a life you built yourself. Consider this a chance to find that person again."